Off your mind, what is the sound?
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get it higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we not talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh.
Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live.
Glory Facebook, glory YouTube.
Tonight, I am going to mix the broadcast in a way that some of you would find some of what I'm going to talk about funny just because of the way I'm going to say it. But I want to beg you, please do not laugh and miss the message. Nigerians are paying rent on Assole Rock Villa, including all the houses there. Assole Rock was built by Babangida, and when this APC, Egbekegbe, came in, they started their budgeting for the rent of Assole Rock. Share the broadcasts. Mind you, as much as the Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, the on-boot slaves, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, the Buharidins, the Buharididiris, the Buharidinotus, and the Buharidijatus, the Buharishukus, the Unekaharis, the Ungoziaris, the Unamdiaris, the Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers, and the Mumu lecturers of this world, social media bandits, Facebook adsmen, and all of the Buhari idiots and the cyberbarian, the clan of the Buhari idiots. As much as they are going to camp on this broadcast tonight to start acting mad, again, please do not miss the message from what I'm about to share. Before that, remember, Maiyegun today.
ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá ayé ìṣúra jù aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òun ayé ìṣúra jù òkúra olóṣèlú ayé ìṣúra jù.
You will be asking, who are they paying rent to? The same question you should be asking, that who are those taking the 3 billion, 4 billion yearly for Assole Rock Clinic, the old people's home? Also, as much as they spend that billions every year, the question you should be asking is, how come they have been unable to buy the same machine that they are using to charge Bokwari's battery in London with 4 billion, 5 billion, 3 billion, 4 billion? For the past 6 years, they have spent 18.9 billion, 19 billion naira on Assole Rock Clinic alone. But guess what? The only place they can charge Bokwari's battery is in London, when they have to convert the money to pound sterling, and they can come back here to rest in the old people's home that they have turned Abuja House into as well. The home, Abuja home, that used to be the embassy of Western Nigerian government. Yorubas bought that house. Yorubas paid every penny for that house simply because we wanted to stay close here and spread the message. I'm talking about the liberation and the dream, the capacity, the possibilities that comes with the independent Yoruba nation that is going into an arrangement with Nigeria in 3 years' time. We bought that house, so Yorubas bought that house, so every penny from our own parent back then, cocoa money and all that, they used that to buy the house in London, but they've turned it to old people's home where Bokwari come to, abandoning the billion naira Assole Rock Clinic. You didn't ask that, but we'll talk about it. Okay, for those who are going to abuse Maiyegun, let them enjoy it. Tinubu is back in Nigeria. So these guys are warming up. They are warming up to become the soldiers, the 5 million soldiers that are going to help defeat Boko Haram. And what are they going to be eating? Agbado, ege, and cassava and corn. They are grown in Nigeria. Those who are waiting for that man are going to abuse me on my broadcast, okay? But don't mind them. We'll still pass the message on to them.
Put 50 million youths into the army and the
Do you understand? So I welcome all the 50 million youths of Tinubu. It was back in Nigeria. They were so happy. And listen, guys, I want to tell you something tonight, right? And I may not say it again. You see, this 2023 Kool-Aid is going to overshadow all other rifle agitations, and I will tell you why. You see, those people in Nigeria, as you all know, that they have weaponized poverty to the point that you can see somebody like this looking normal, but internally, where. Okay, some of them, you see them on social media, right? They look like they look like normal people, but they are not normal. These politicians who have done so much psychological damage through all of the damaging policies that have brought about every poverty in Nigeria, they know all that thing and they know that figure. They know that as you are telling them about Yoruba nation and the possibilities, as they are taking it with the right ear, is jumping out of the left ear straight away. So I don't want you to work yourself too much when those people begin to tell you they prefer Nigeria. Mind you, as they say, only mad people will do things, the same thing again and again, and expect different results. Okay? So in the next coming days and weeks, you are going to see the upsurge of it. They are going to be talking more about their 2023 and the mirage that comes with it and all of that. Again, Tinubu and his agents are those behind Southern presidency. Don't let anybody deceive you, okay? Whenever you turn around and you see people saying the presidency must return to Southern Nigeria or Nigeria will break up. Now, let me give you the hints, okay? That campaign is backed, funded by Tinubu. President must return to the South. President, that pressure. If you don't return it, we are just going to break up, or Nigeria is going to blah, 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 blah. The plot that Umayi is acting up as if to say they have a place for him too. There is no place for him. So when you hear about swagger or Southern presidency, do not be deceived. The people behind it are Tinubu and gang. So in the next couple of days, when you begin to hear traditional rulers in Southern Nigeria, begin to talk about Nigeria is bad. Let the presidency come to the South, so that the Southern Nigeria can feel like they belong to Nigeria. Don't buy it. For the past 2 years, this swagger that you are reading about everywhere, that swagger, it has been in existence for the past 2 years. Okay? And the name they gave to it is Southwest Agenda. Right? Now, as much as that's their Tinubu's plot, right? They have been paying royal fathers, paying Bale, market women, youth leaders, everyone that they know have at least a minimum of 50 people that are listening to them. And of course, the Agberos, the churches, the mosques, the alphas, the pastors, they are all in on it too. Okay? Some of them are going to talk about how worse Nigeria is. But let me tell you something. The only person pulling all of that string is no other person than Tinubu. And the North, they know about it. Every time the North come together using pseudo groups, different funny names for different northern groups, that they keep threatening the South. Keep threatening the South. When they talk about open grazing, they will threaten the South. When they talk about what do you call it? True federalism, they will attack the South. When they talk about what they call the state police, they will attack the South. All the things they agreed on when they wanted to join APC, right? They know that the only people pushing them are no other people than Tinubu and his agents. And all of this is to just make sure that whatever arrangement they agree to, they don't fail it. But you, who is watching me right now, oh man, you may think, Maiyegun is not going to be that possible. Just wait for it. When they begin to dish out the messages, when they begin to dish out the lies and different things, you will forget that they were the same people 6 years ago telling you the same thing. They will make you think they were not part of those who brought APC in. They will make you think Yorubas have been marginalized. They will say a lot of things. But guess what? They won't say them directly in the name of Tinubu. So if you play into their hands and begin to think, well, maybe that will work. You see? Then ask yourself this question. Which Nigeria is Tinubu coming to inherit? Because we are going to talk about the budget too. You know that Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world now. No joke, we have evidence. More people are falling into poverty. That is not because you are a sinner. That is not because your forefathers committed sin and because you are not faithful to God. Those are lies that politicians, your pastors, your different religious leaders, all these clerics too, those are the lies they want you to believe. They say if things are hard, move closer to God. All na lie. Even Oyedepo knows that Nigeria is worse, and he decided to go out to carry small money, the small he could manage to gather from all of you in that place. He decided to go and put it somewhere. In the, what will be this thing again? This newspaper which just came up, Pandora paper. Because they know that Nigeria, no matter how rosy it looks, even for them, Now crash, it go crash. But they will tell you, move closer to God. British Island, God bless you. Move closer to God. Pray. Tell God to open doors for you. Tell God to send you helper. Taking your mind away from what actually is making the life hell for you. So they all work together, hand in hand. So when they begin to tell you Nigeria is bad, how does that make them different from Maiyegun that tells you the same thing? The only difference is that they will tell you to continue to hope and pray. That is the fraud that you should avoid. Because you know what? The same character that brought you to the state of poverty capital of the world makes you the second most terrorized people in the whole world after Afghanistan. Now making you in 6 years the terrorist capital of Africa and all the black nations on earth. That is not in any way a very good or in any way a nice compliment to carry about when you hold that Nigeria green passport. So there are many ways all this affects you. And the characters that made that happen are the same people who are putting all this ploy. So these northern guys know. They know, number one, that Chief Tinubu doesn't care. Nobody cares about you. Nobody really cares. They are not deaf. They are not blind. They are not dumb. They know that all these killings exist. They do know. And they know your leaders know about it. That every time you go angry and all of that, that's your business. What can you do? Can you slap gun off the hand of drug-addicted Fulani terrorists? Can you? They know you can't. Even some of us who grew up watching Lalude, watching Abijah, watching everybody turning to different leopard and all the different animals when they are fighting wars in our history. Some of us are now beginning to say, even if you have Betu, if you have Ayeta, if you have Kanoko, if you have all of these things that our forefathers managed to use, they used to stay alive, and some of us can now relate. Yeah, my friends are now saying that, listen, with this AK-47, with this RPG wielding criminals, people who have the power to shoot down fighter jets, Betu is not enough. If you sabi disappear, it's not enough anymore. You know what I'm talking about? Now you need to get yourself a fortified bulletproof vest, bulletproof helmet. You know what I'm talking about? You need to begin to put a plan in place if you indeed want to help people who are going to volunteer to face these people. That's when you kind of show us that you are serious. You get what I mean now? Because that's the truth. So these guys know. You want to talk about every jazz that everybody try to use to protect themselves. They have them too. Is it not in that same Nigeria that we grew up and we realize that as much as armed robbers are called daredevil, and they say bullet no they enter them, bullet no they enter them. Is that not in that same Nigeria when we were growing up? They told us that if you tie red cloth at the tail end of that gun, and if you shoot her, even if the person sharp winch, the bullet go enter. Not be in that same country. So what people are now saying is that every warfare has its own warfare tools. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. People are saying that now because you know what? No matter how much mouth the southern politicians make, right? These guys knows that all na mouth, except for some of the private individuals in different parts of the southern Nigeria who have managed, when these Fulani terrorists have not been doing their ethnic and tribal profiling like they have done in the last 6 years, those who have managed to get the license to get guns, the most they got were double-barrel guns. If you go to anybody's house in Nigeria today and they tell you that they have a gun license,
especially from southern Nigeria. If you see anybody that claim to have the license for gun, the highest they have access to na double barrel gun, the one that will say pump action. Cuckoo. Do you know what AK-47 is? You see that magazine of AK-47? It can carry up to 50 rounds of ammunition. 50. Which means once they hold the trigger like that, all they need to just do is just hold it. Now 50 rounds. While you are still doing booba. Do you see how they disarmed us? Not just that, they now told people from southern Nigeria that the only way to fight gun movements in Nigeria is for everybody to submit their guns. Now, if you don't submit your gun, you are a criminal. Ladies and gentlemen, just like the border closure that has caused serious economic havoc in southern Nigeria for the past 6 years, loss of jobs that brought about this increased insecurity and poverty. Just same way they said they shut the southern border, or they shut the land border in Nigeria. They shut the southern border, but northern border remain open. But northern border is not bringing anything in. To help the economy of Nigeria, they are bringing in terrorists from neighboring countries, bringing them in. Those ones are now doing the business that got introduced since 2015, the business called terrorism industry. It is a big industry now, multi-billion dollars industry. So that is the business they brought from northern borders to Nigeria in 6 years. Sorry, make her adjust small. So it's never in any means, right? When they said submit your guns, it is only effective in southern Nigeria. But you see these AK-47 wielding criminals, even their governors are defending them. That it is their culture, it is their right, it is what they are. And Nigerians are trying to change them. Nigerians are not trying to change them. Okay? What those from southern Nigeria are rejecting is the fact that these terrorists that you have been reading about on social media, on different international media, kidnapping school children, kidnapping women, raping women, selling children off, they kidnap as little as 5-year-old child in this industry that they are operating. But there is no law at all in Nigeria today that punishes terrorism and all this terrorism. Guess what? The only law, well, it's not even law. The only policy they have against terrorism in Nigeria is called Operation Safe Corridor, right? So if you repent as a terrorist after committing all that crime, then they will rehabilitate you. They will pay you money and they will return you back to the society. Mind you, even at that too is only limited to northern Nigeria. And anywhere anyone from that part, those Fulanis commit those crimes in any part of Nigeria, they are the only people who are entitled to that amnesty too. So southern Nigeria governors said, we are going to try and protect ourselves. We need state police, blah, 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 blah. Tinubu, in his own party, APC, the Al-Qaeda People's Congress, they promised the people state police. So the southern governors, especially the Yoruba governors, they started Amotekun, this northern bloc. They said, oh, you wanted to stop us from grazing. You don't want our cows to move. That is against the north. But according to them, southern Nigeria is doing it because the Yorubas that Tinubu comes from, and especially Tinubu is the one trying to use all of that to make them give him the presidency. It's a long cobweb of fraud. So you now have southern Nigeria being disarmed for those who are invading, and the Tinubu and gang, they have no business with that. The Yorubas are being kidnapped, ransom are being collected, those unlucky are being killed, the women are being raped, no longer in Borno, not just in Niger. In Niger State, as you are watching this video, right, the over 500 communities cutting across over 18 local government areas are now under the control of Boko Haram. And not just that, they have already imposed the Sharia there. Government of Nigeria no longer operates there on those communities anymore. The people there are now paying taxes to Boko Haram in that same Nigeria as you are watching this video. But in Yoruba land, they are kidnapping. Do you see? There was a time I raised the alarm and I said, they've already surrounded my own town in Odogbolu. That my people are now at the mercy of God go do and inshallah. And Yoriyo or delay. That is the situation where my own people are now. Same thing is happening all over the place. But guess what? The Yoruba governors are not allowed to, even as governors, to go out there and buy just the same AK-47 for their own Amotekun to go after those criminals, to stop the economic hemorrhage of Yoruba land. They dare not. If any governor pushes that, yeah, trust me, it will automatically be declared an enemy. And many of them, they have also read this unwritten code. They dare not even attempt it. That is the situation we found ourselves. Yeah? And when Tinubu returned, okay, they said, Baba don't return. He himself, after spending the money, they have managed to steal from you. Okay? Is it your money? That's what somebody from Tinubu's clan will say. I'm talking about a very, very, stupid Lagos Abobaku. They are not ashamed. Okay? You see, when you ask them and say, listen, if people say, I have changed your life, right? It should show effects in what your standard of living is. Improvement, so to say. Okay? In the last 22 years, they told you about Lagos Master Plan. Let me tell you some of the things that were supposed to be the Lagos Master Plan. And let me tell you why Lagos Master Plan was actually Tinubu's master plan for himself, his cronies, and his family. You as a person, you can live in denial. It is your right. Please live in denial, okay? They had something called Lagos Master Plan. In that plan, fraudulent one, they were to make Lagos State the cleanest state in Africa. Let's start with that. How far have you gone? They were to make sure that there is over 80% coverage of potable drinking water across Lagos State. How far with that? They were to make sure that Lagos State has functional transportation system, including water, road, air, and rail. How far with that 22 years after that? In the Lagos Master Plan, they were to build 5 million houses, low-cost houses for the poor people that are going to be living and working in Lagos State. How far with that 22 years after? Lagos State was to have what they called a security system that is 24 hours monitored by their CCTV security cameras all across Lagos State to keep everybody safe and sound. How far with that? Education is meant to be free. And when I say free, it's also meant to be qualitative, very quality. How far with that? Access to medical care was meant to be the best anyone can come across and affordable enough for the low-income earners in Lagos State as long as you live and work in Lagos State. How far with that? 22 years after that, what you have today is the mega slum that everybody is now living as usual, suffering, smiling, and denying. Abuse me. Wetin your papa do is their usual very popular line. What about your father? Waiting your baba do? You are just sitting down there talking rubbish. Of course. The question there you should ask yourself is that, has my father ever asked you to vote for him, that he could make your life better, get your children to school, make your children never to go to bed hungry, and yourself ensure that your pension are paid as at when due, and not just that, that in your at your old age, you have a roof over your head because you have served the same land in your own youth. My father never asked you or never promised you to make your life better. In fact, my father was one of those who became the victim of the choices that maybe your own parents, and including yourselves watching me right now, made when you believed the likes of Tinubu that they could indeed represent your interests and build a future that your children, right, we never have to go through what you went through without having to lick the ass of anybody, without having to be an humbled slave to anybody, without having to serve your self-dignity to eat. I mean, when you make that decision to believe them, my father possibly is dead now, right? Possibly he was one of those who believed them too. He built his house in Lagos. He was a landlord. He was a businessman. He wasn't a poor man, by the way. I mean, by standard, he was able to manage himself, manage his family, and he was never hungry or beg to survive on anything at all till he died. He was among those who were paying taxes in Lagos State, the money which made Tinubu richer, as you call it today, powerful, and your leader. My father, my mother, I was among those millions who were able to toil day and night when they got nothing back, no medical care, no real infrastructure. You know what I'm talking about? Not even a safe society, a safe community. My father has a house in K2, a 2-story building that actually makes me, in your Nigeria of today, in category of millionaires. Trust me, if my father happened to raise a child that had to depend on him, right? Just like Tinubu raised many of you through their policies over the years to become dependent, that you know it yourself, that you need special God or special prayer to meet your helper in the situation you have found yourselves today, right? If my father had raised me like that, I would today still be a millionaire. But maybe I would have become more like yourselves, sell the house, do lao for some times, and then I'll become a beggar like you. And then I'll be blaming people for it. For example, I would probably have sold the house when Nigeria must have happened to me, because there's no real future there. Whatever you have now will be taken away from you sooner or later. And you are going to contribute to that happening in order to help you, right? That's why you are watching Maiyegun. So maybe I would have sold the house to an Igbo man or to a Fulani man who is ready to pay me good money, right? And an Igbo man would have bought the property, renovated the property, and probably rent the whole building out, and start making millions. His own children will now become the heir, those who are going to inherit my father's sweat. So when you ask me, what did your papa do? Have you asked yourself, what did your own papa do? What did your mama do? At least when Tinubu was making this whole thing happen, that has brought you to a stage where you will be ready to blame an Igbo man. You'll be ready to blame a Fulani man. You'll be ready to blame just anybody for whatever is going on with your lives as you are watching my video today, right? So if you ask me, what did my father do to make that your Nigeria better? I can tell you for free, he was a tax-paying citizen of Lagos State, and his record is there with the Tinubu and gang. Okay? Ask yourselves, what did your own father do when Tinubu was doing all of this? Abi, you know, get baba. So you see, 2 don't cut 4. which simply means if you reason with me very well, you will realize that I am actually not your enemy. In fact, I am supposed to be your friend, your best friend, your source of conscience tickling. Like whenever you want to really tickle your conscience, whenever you want to have a deep thinking, then I am somebody you can listen to and compare facts from fiction, and you will realize that, hey, 50% of all this whole thing actually starts from you, starts from me. So if I fight to take back that 50% deceit that puts me in the balance, that makes me feel like I'm intelligent when I'm defending the likes of the thieves who made their money through your toil and sweat. So the point I'm trying to make here is this. When they came out and said, we're going to lead you, they made promises. It is yours to now look into those promises and say, how far have we come? Okay, if you want to say, I like Tinubu, I like this person, but at least be able to see, when you agree to believe them, right? You probably projected how much those ideas they sold you would affect your lives and the lives of those you love in the long run if you let them have that chance to do what they said they would do. Abi? You believed what they said they would do. Now, let's say 22 years down the line, or, if in the case of those who are from Lagos, or the case of those of you who are Nigerians, in the last 22 years, different promises and your life. I used to ask people, I would say, you know what? If you want to understand how much damages Nigeria has done to you, and that standing up to defend the same animals that made that happen is not in your own interest, and it doesn't make any sense for you to turn around when they do it to you again and blame other people for whatever you are going through. The reason why you shouldn't is this. If you want to understand how much damages Nigeria has done to you, that only maybe, as you will say, grace of God is still keeping you alive. They say, Baba, how far? You say, Baba, we are surviving. Many of you are just surviving now. You know it. If that thing that you are managing to survive on, that small job, that small contract, that small thing, that God knows what you are doing to keep the job, to keep that source of funding, you know that if anything happened to it, that is you. Done. So if you want to know how much damages Nigeria has done to you, just close your eyes for a second, like myself now, and stay quiet. Yeah? And just picture, where were you 22 years ago? Keep your eyes closed, but if you can just close, the reason why you close your mind is you can open your mind. The reason why you close your eyes is that you can open your mind and relax and just say, where was I 22 years ago? Start with, how old were you 22 years ago? I will be 37 years in about 3 months. If you remove 22 years from my age, I would be 15 years old boy 22 years ago. Now, for a second, to those of you who have realized that people may be calling you Baba Baba today, if they take 22 years out of your lives, I'll be teenager. What were the dreams then? And where are you now? You probably was rounding up on your secondary school education. If you are my age, 22 years ago, the adults then were telling you, you need to go to university. You need to further your education. You need to do well in your GCE or SSCE so that you can get a good job when you graduate. Yourself, that was the moment you begin to imagine, okay, I'm just going to be a doctor. In fact, I'm just going to be an accountant. Well, I'm just going to be an engineer. I mean, like, I want to build things. I love this. I love that. 22 years after that, some of you are graduates now. Are you an engineer by practice or in practice today? Some of you graduated BSc, PhD, blah, 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 on paper. That gives you this sense of, you know, you are going to be better off one day. Nigeria is going to be better, and what you studied will become valuable, and they will value you. But today, you are working as an Okada rider. You are working as a bus driver, because this are the only way you can keep body and soul together. 22 years after you had those dreams, some of you have abandoned those dreams now. You are now supervisors at different Chinese and Indian factories where you are working as slaves and eating as ants. Like I said, surviving. So 22 years is what Nigeria has taken away from you. Your dream, your aspiration. And for those of you who have managed to stay afloat, just know this. I'm not saying all of us are now poorer, but the statistics shows that even when you made some gains in your lives, today, when Nigeria happened to so many of you, we have evidence everywhere today, you can tell that 22 years from where you were 22 years ago, some of you are thanking God. Say, now God the win, now God the win. If I go America, now God the win, now God the win. For me, within that same 22 years, I have been in the UK for almost 10 years. So that means, if not because of, like you will sing it, now God the win, now God the win, right? 10 years of that changed my life totally, completely. And without the people judging me by the color of my skin, by the tone of my accent, or from where I come from, I have managed through hard work, persistence, and perseverance. I have managed in 10 years to change my life. But when you put my own type in a basket, I am just like a drop of water in a big ocean of what Nigeria has taken away from many, many of you. Now, it doesn't really matter whether you are APC or PDP now, okay? The system is rigged against you if you pay attention very well. It doesn't matter whether you are a Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, Igbo, Tifi, Ijo, Ishekiri, Nupe, or anywhere you come from. Listen to me. It doesn't really matter if you pay attention very well. I have told you repeatedly, these guys have no religion. They have no tribe. They have no culture. They have no tradition. All your criminal political leaders, they have nothing, as much as they want you to identify with those things, because they know if they ever identify with those things like yourselves, right, as important as they are, they will be as divided as you are. So they choose not to, and they are united by the fraud that the contraption paid them with every now and then. So it's rigged against you, okay? The only way you can possibly at least make a difference in whatever is going on, which you have control over, is first to understand that no matter what you try to do, attack people for them, abuse people for them, call out your Daura Secret Service and the rest of them to keep picking people up, right? At the end of the day, in the long term, you will continue to be victims of their criminality and choices, okay? So Tinubu returned to Nigeria. Boko Haram want to spend 25 billion on the following. in 2022 budget that they want them to approve. 25 billion. They want to spend 12 billion to maintain the Assole Rock private jets that they call presidential jets. Okay? They want to spend 4 billion on Assole Rock Clinic. They want to spend over 4 billion on feeding Bokwari, his family, and everybody living inside the Assole Rock. Last, they also want to pay 77 million naira to the landlord of Assole Rock. Not just that, they want to spend 400 million naira to change and replace all the cables, electronic cables, telephone cables, all cables, charger, USB cable, laptop charge, everything. They want to change everything with 400 million naira. And they want to spend over 8 billion naira to manage and maintain Assole Rock generally, including the kitchen of Assole Rock. Ladies and gentlemen, the First Lady of Nigeria and her children, they no longer live in Nigeria. They live in Dubai. Those who live in Nigeria who don't belong to the Aisha Bokwari. When I say First Lady, you know, say the Salafi or Salifa or Salufanu or Salufanu or Sufanu, the former wife of Bokwari, that Bokwari divorced when Bokwari came out of Babangida's jail, the house arrest that Babangida put him when he dethroned him or overthrown him in 1985. Yeah. After Bokwari came out of that house arrest, yeah, his wife, I don't know, they call her Sufanu or Sufayo, I can't remember, but something like that that ended with no. Anyway, right? So when Bokwari came out, he divorced her. But she had, I think she had about 3 kids for him, okay? So when Bokwari divorced her, then they gave him Aisha Bokwari, a fresh, girl from Adamawa. Now, when they gave Bokwari Aisha, Bokwari was, when they released him from house arrest, Bokwari had access to his pension. As much as they will make you believe that he was overthrown and then he became poorer, that was the selling point that finally put the 15 million mumu that are now the Buhari idiot of today, okay, defending the same fraud. Anyway, Bokwari had access to money and he married Aisha, the smallest, the small shori to manage old man. So Aisha Bokwari was moved to London. So Aisha Bokwari didn't live in Nigeria except whenever she wanted to go back for Kweku. Now for Kwekus, right? So when Aisha will go back for Kwekus, then she will come back to the UK and she will give birth there. Like, the children were raised there, by the way. And it takes a lot to raise children in the UK. So all the children went to the UK school. They had access to everything you expect of the first-class children of an African, kleptomaniac, okay? So today, Aisha Bokwari lives in Dubai. Since the day that our ADC shot gone few times in the year inside Assole Rock, we don't know waiting cause arguments. Then say Aisha go out. Aisha came back from abroad. They told Aisha to go and isolate. Aisha said, what do they mean by telling her to go and isolate? Are they mad? She just came back to her house, the old people's home, Assole Rock, right? So the ADC to Aisha, who was in fact, recommended to Aisha by Yeye Bello of Kogi. It's a long story. I'm trying to give you the background, by the way, so you know what I'm talking about. Well, ADC to Aisha, right, now decided to shoot gun, against Sabiu. His name is Tunde Sabiu. That one is this personal secretary to Bokwari, okay? He is the one, they say, a young man that is as powerful as what you can imagine. He is more powerful than Malamu, but he's very obedient and is a team player. He was the one who challenged Aisha Buhari team from coming up from when they are coming from abroad that they should go and isolate because of coronavirus. ADC to Aisha said, "What do you mean? This is the madam. Are you mad?" So when the ADC shotgun, they arrested the ADC. Tunde said, "Picked up, yeah, arrest him." They put him in jail. That was when Aisha realized that her life is in danger. She is no longer safe inside the assole rock. I'm talking about last year. Since then, she has been the first lady of Nigeria from Dubai. Every day where she lives, where they probably have bought a property for her, there is no evidence that they bought property for her. But you know Buratai the butcher, the snake venom merchant, the former killer of the former chief of staff to chief of army staff in Nigeria, who is now the ambassador, Nigeria ambassador to Benin Republic. You know Buratai the butcher made so much money from selling snake venom that he was able to buy properties for his 2 wives in Dubai. So maybe Aisha is staying in one of those properties, or maybe she is staying inside the Atifku's mansion in Dubai. They all have a lot of mansion in Dubai, but there's no evidence yet that Aisha gets out for Dubai from the money they are making. But what is factual is this. If Aisha is sleeping inside the hotel in Dubai, just know that she will be sleeping inside presidential suit. Our children who are there with her, they are also sleeping in presidential suit. If they go out, say they are bored, they want to go and buy anything to just make them feel good, they will have to collect money from Nigeria so that Aisha can sleep well. Aisha can pay for her daily sleep there. Aisha can buy her makeup. Aisha can buy everything she wanted and live in Dubai as your first lady. And as usual, as you all know, Nigeria is a graveyard where all these scavengers are just like vultures, okay? They go where they have peace, abroad, and they go back to Nigeria to go and see how many of you are dead yet, so that as vultures, they can come and feed on your bodies, Aisha Buhari is even writing book. She went back to Nigeria to write a book, and guess what? The fellow thieves that are making your lives hell in Nigeria, they were those who launched the book. Tinubu was there. Who else was there? Ikene Shatabandu, fake Pastor Ruga was there. And so many other people who could donate and buy the book. They contributed billions, or if not, hundreds of millions for her. For the book, that none of them will read. When Aisha cashed out, she returned back to base in Dubai. So if you're asking who is going to be collecting all of this money that they are sharing, I'm giving you an idea where they are going to. As much as all of you are going to, I'm talking about those of you who are the Buhari idiots, the side barbarians, the obedient fools, the humble slaves, and the sophisticated morons. You can blame me. You won't be the first to blame me. So many people have called God to punish me for doing what I'm doing right now. Okay, some of them, they are waiting for the day that one day they will say, "You see that boy where they talk from Glasgow? I want to see him in handcuffs." Some of them are waiting for that day because you know what? I am more dangerous to them, according to their leaders. I am more dangerous than those who are carrying AK-47, kidnapping school children, raping women, collecting ransom from these same citizens. I am more dangerous by using this microphone to tell you all I have told you now. So they blame me for whatever they are going through because their leaders said, you see those people living abroad, they are the problems. Okay? But what their leaders are not telling them is that, you see people like me, they call problem. When they change your naira to Riyadh or to Dubai money, or to change it to pound sterling, to come and treat and recharge Bukhari's battery in London. When they take all your money for your forex, and bring them over here, me, from where I'm sitting down here, I am one of those who are remitting money back into Nigeria. Okay? Subsidizing the people that have become the victims of those thieves taking your money abroad. Do you see that now? I don't have right to determine who become president of Nigeria. I don't have right to determine what kind of law they should be using in Nigeria. I don't have right to have a say in how those who are going to be those victims that we are going to continue to we are subsidizing with our own hard-earned money in that same country. Let me give you a figure. You have millions of people who left Nigeria as Nigerians, including myself, that are remitting over $33 billion a year back into Nigeria for different things. But because these people have destroyed education, they have destroyed so many things that could make people reason normally. When you see the side barbarians, the Buhari idiots, they will say, am I the one you are sending your money to? Because they don't understand how things work. When your politicians want to go abroad, they can't take your naira. So if a dollar is 700 naira, that means if a dollar is, a pound sterling is 700 naira, and they say Tinubu want to go to UK because there is no hospital in the whole of Lagos State. After the Lagos Master Plan, there's no single hospital in the entire Lagos State that could perform orthopedic operation for him in Lagos State. That they have to fly him to Maryland in America. Maryland in America. And when the doctors in America collected their own dollars, thousands of dollars to take care of their legs, they now refuel the private jet that took him there with thousands of dollars again. When they fueled it, they now flew to UK. When they flew to UK, they now consulted therapists to come and help them to come and help them take care of him so that he can recover and he will be able to walk well, right? So the therapist collected, and now to pay the therapist, they have to change your naira to pound sterling again. So if a pound sterling is 780 naira, now 1 million, let me say 1,000 pound sterling is 780,000 naira. So for somebody like him, if they spend 3 months here, 3 months, okay, that means they have to get the best private therapist that will take care of him so that can give him quick recovery. So if 1,000 pounds is 780,000 naira, how much do you think 100,000 pounds will be? Just think about it. But they don't need to buy their own pound sterling or dollars at the exchange rates that all of you will buy, okay? All they need to do is to call Emefiole. Tinubu wants to go abroad. We need $20,000 or $40,000. They will then call all these terrorist sponsor Bureau de Change in Lagos. Do you have up to $40,000 to give to us? Ashiwaju is traveling. So when they mix match, right? You see $100,000 for him, $200,000 for Bokwari and his team, and Aisha Buhari in Dubai. Maybe she's feeding on $10,000. I won't doubt it anyway. Maybe she's spending. How much do you think you will sleep in the Bureau de Judge or something? The tallest hotel in the world and possibly the most expensive hotel, Bureau de Judge or something in Dubai. How much do you think presidential suit will watch there? So Aisha Buhari could possibly be sleeping there. So what I'm trying to tell you is that, so all the forex, they will mop everything from where they can get the forex from, everywhere. So when Uche and Sons, that want to go to, you see, that money is not coming to Nigeria. That money is coming to American economy. That money is going into the UK economy. Me, that they want you to hate, me, I am working in the UK. The money I am making in the UK, chunk of it, goes into that Nigeria to help those who have become victims of those who are taking that same your money to change it to pound sterling to come and get medical care here. So they want you to make me enemy because I am more dangerous, right? But they are very nice because when they need that medical care, they can come here and get it. But when you need that medical care, or your fathers, or your mothers, how many of you have lost your family members, relatives, friends, sons, daughters, fathers, mothers? Simply because there is no blood, there is no this, there is no ampicillin. You know what I'm talking about. So when Uche, who want to do business, that Uche want to go to China and meet people in China and say, how can you please make diapers for children? Because you see, in Nigeria, the diapers there is this expensive. But can you do me this prototype that I know of this quality? Can you do it for me? And I want 50 million. I say, okay, 50 million. Okay. 50 million. Because if I take this Pampers to Nigeria, I will be able to sell it for at least 40% less than what we are selling it or buying it in Nigeria. And I will still make profit. So Uche want to go to China. So Uche need to change the naira to yuan, the money they will spend in China. Because you see, that person that will do the production in China is not going to collect naira. And he's not going to collect your naira and say, okay, you want 20 million copies. You will need to give us 20 million yuan. And the guy says, 20 million yuan. Okay, maybe that's too much with what your naira is now, yeah? Let's say the guy says, you will pay us 1 million yuan. Uche, normally, if the politician cares that if Uche do that business, all of you lamenting, buying Pampers for this price, buying Pampers for that, or buying this, everything you buy that you don't have an idea why you are buying them at that much. Some said, Baba, leave China, Baba. Even Gary, what will they do for Nigeria? Right now, it don't they become rich man food. China too far. I'm just giving you an example of why those who produces Gary in Nigeria are also charging their own Gary, Congo Gary. They are charging it like, say, now from China, they bring them. I'm giving you an idea why that is happening. As they take the Forex away, that put pressure on Naira. So when Uche go to the bank and say, I want to change 1 million yuan to Naira, they say, Uche, 1 yuan is 80 Naira. Do you know that automatically Uche has been shortchanged in ratio 1 to ratio 1 to 8. Or you can easily say, ratio 1 to 8. Because for Uche to get his order from China, Uche will need 80 million naira to get 1 million yuan. So Uche will not have access to that. Some said, but yuan is not dollars. You have no clue. Yuan is not dollar, and China is not stupid. Every time China borrow you money, they don't borrow money based on your own terms. They borrow you money based on their own terms. So one of the terms of those who are borrowing Nigeria money is for you to go and devalue your naira. How can we be borrowing you money and you want to put your currency beside us? Are you mad? You don't get anything behind your currency. You want to borrow money from us. Now, to change naira to yuan, we will only change it by 100 naira. So they don't get choice. So it becomes so bad, that when Uche, that they told him that, to get 1 million yuan for your supply, you need 80 million naira. Uche may just go to his lender and say, please, Biko, borrow me 80 million naira. Okay? I want to do business in China. And I will pay you interest rate of 30%. So that means whatever gain Uche make, 30% is going to somebody who is going to give him that money. You see, say Uche's profit is dwindling gradually, right? By the time Uche will now say, yes, I am ready, no, I'm ready, oh. By the time he go back to his lender may just say, Uche, I'm sorry. I no fit sell you that yuan for 18 naira anymore. Things don't change. Now 120 naira I go sell am. And when I sell you that yuan, I'm also going to take 35% of your profits. Uche is already losing before he even completes his business. While the likes of Bokwari, the likes of Tinubu, the likes of all your politicians that go abroad for everything, before they go, they don't bring anything back. Oh, they have to go and put pressure so that Uche will not have access to Forex. And if Uche ever have any access to Forex, he will have to do it through his nose. When Uche can't struggle and say, you know what, I no fit do 1 million yuan. Mo will cut them down. Uche finally managed to bring everything to their border. Then he will have to face the Fulani profiling custom. If Uche is lucky, Uche will still have to share part of his own profits as bribe so that they don't seize his own goods and lose everything completely. His own investments, the money he borrowed, everything. Uche will still have to part with part of his profit again. So where do you think Uche will get all of this money from? From you, of course. When you go to the market and you look at the quality of what Uche brought, and you look at the quality of the other ones, and you compare the prices, Uche's quality is not that good anymore because you have no idea what Uche had to go through to still manage and make small profits and still manage to sell less than the ones, you know what I'm talking about here, right? They loot you, they milk you, they had no value. The things they come here to spend the money on, they can actually put them in Nigeria and keep the money there and reduce pressure on your naira. But guess what? They are not tired doing it. So when you now go to the market and you say, you see, from that same market, the person where they make gari, the gari woman, she also has her own, she also have children. Oh, those people where they make gari locally, then get children too. Abi, don't you think they have children? Some of them, they have grandchildren. The economy that has made many of you jobless, their children are part of those who are jobless. So as you are looking for a job, the gari seller children, their own children are also looking for a job. They have graduates too, who depend on them. They have also small children who have to go to school, who have to buy uniform, who have to buy school sandal, who have to feed, who have to use pampers, who have to do all of those things. So they have to sell the gari. Whatever they now make from the gari they are producing is what the money they are going to take to that market to go and buy. So do you now see the ripple effect? So the gari woman, in order for her to remain in business and for her children not to die of hunger, and you know what I mean, she also have to also weigh her own economy survivor on her own business, like Uche. So when you now go to the market and they say Congo gari is now 1,000 naira, are you bringing that from China too? Are we importing gari? It is called economic illiteracy, if you are one of those who have been saying that. And I hope my explanation tonight will make you understand why somebody like me, who will end up having to pay the school fees of random people on social media because of the humanity in me, the empathy in me. Yeah? Why then do you think it is wrong for me to call out the criminals who have made all of this possible? Can you ask yourself that question? After what Maiyegun just said, do you really still think it is wrong that Maiyegun, from far, doing his best like millions of others all over the world that have become those who manage to get out of that place through hard work, through perseverance and persistence and consistency, diligence and hard work, yeah, have been able to put something on the table, not just for their own families, but for the extended ones and even random people in what is today's world one family with social media, right? How could you then think it is wrong for us to continue? You want us to continue to subsidize the fraud that these guys are doing, while you continue to fall victims of it. And they continue to tell you that God is the one in charge of Nigeria when you did not vote for God. Did you vote for God? Are you campaigning for God in 2023? Of course, you are not campaigning for God in 2023. But when these criminals come together and they talk about God, and you jump up and you call me your enemy, it is either for two things. Both of these two things. You are either deliberately ignorant, or you are actually as foolish as some people have suggested. Reason is this: you may not know. Living in denial is all right. Talking about Tinubu, talking about Bukwari, talking about these rogues is actually not enmity. Those who are expressing their displeasure, they are doing so because it is the most right and legitimate things to do. Express your displeasure when you can feel it. Don't pretend it. Don't hide it, because it won't go away. And when they come around after spending your money and they say, now God they make now God they give life, now God they take life, now God will determine if they are going to live long, forgetting the fact that they spent millions of your money in pound sterling and in dollars to stay alive. The same medical facility you have no access to, you don't have access to that, right? That is why it's so sad for the Mumu Madus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, the Abroadians. I'm talking about these abroad-based Buhari idiots, the premium Buhari Deans, Buhari Diderins, who live abroad, have access to all of these things. Nobody is asking them to bring their one kidney before they can have access to medical care that can fix their legs, right? They sit out there and they are encouraging the Buhari fools, the Tinubu's crumb beaters and ass lickers, that Nigeria is going to work because Tinubu has a plan. That's why I'm not so happy with them, right? Tinubu and gang, they will change your naira to come and get medical care here. Not just them and their family and their children. They give their children the best education that they can get all over the world with your money, right? And they turn around to say, now God, they decide everything, and you stupidly, foolishly, believe that, and you turn around holding dagger, holding cutlass to say people who are talking about it hate them. You return to Lagos, so trust me, the swagger don't begin, and the Buhari idiots, all of these guys, Lagos Abaku, they are in hysteria, guys.
50 million youths into the army and the
Do you get that? That is the Tinubu. Meanwhile, there is this clip of him talking about God in charge of his life, not talking about the doctors that God paid. But you see, when you see these religious idiots, some of these religious buffoons that love to use emotional and religious blackmail on people, the idiots, they will tell you, right, that if God did not give the doctors the knowledge to be successful, they would have tried and Tinubu would have died. The morons, right? That's how they console themselves, okay? Let me tell you something, right? Your Tinubu knows that if he doesn't have access to real standard, very standard healthcare, if he doesn't have access to it, he is as dead as the dead wood called Bokuwari in us. It's not different from me, right? So if anybody is trying to make you or blackmail you with God when it comes to things like this, just don't fall for it. Tinubu knows his audience, and trust me, he never fail to play that card. And at the same time, he's already telling his the morons as well that, listen, it's your choice. So I'm just saying that since we know the end result, I will be so glad to call you morons, the morons, and the morons, and I'll put tones into it, right? Again and again and again, because I know the end result of this. He's playing the God card.
Good, 50 million.
Again, 1 sec. This.
On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate we shall stand.
Thank you very much. Please have your seat. And all members of Lagos State Cabinet, thank you. The National Assembly, represented here today by House of Rep Speaker Femi, thank you. The Lagos Assembly by Mudashiru Obasha, thank you. Our first and second, and the wife of the deputy, and all of you, I say thank you. All the members of the cabinet, I say thank you. To the GAC, Papa, our brothers and sisters, thank you very much. Àdúrà yín á máa gbà. Ọmọ ò ní kú mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́. Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́. To all the local government chairmen and members of the councils, thank you. To the clergy, thank you for all your prayers and the best wishes. I'm a little emotional, but I'm happy. God is the giver of life, and He's the only one who can take it. And He says, if I grant you power and the privilege, and you live this life, I am the only one who can take it from you if you don't use it in the way and manner that promotes humanity and the goodness of it. And I can give it to anybody I want. He has spared us till today. He has given us the privilege of the day. I thank Him. I cannot praise Him better than any of you and all your voices. But I'm standing before you, hale, healthy, and bent. Thank you very, very, very much. Please have your seat. It is just the day of joy for me. We gave a date. We are here thanking God Almighty. May God bless all of you, grant you your heart desire. I am grateful, and I thank God Almighty. I thank all of you. I cannot say more than that for today. Thank you.
Mo lè wé òní ìdájá. Èwe orí
Thank you. I am so emotional. It should be. I mean, he's their leader. I am not jealous of him. I am just waiting for him to come back because he's coming back. Tinubu is 69 years old. Charlie Boy is also 69 years old. Do you know that? Tinubu and Charlie Boy are age mates. But some people are saying that since nobody knows Tinubu's father or mother, and nobody really can say exactly about his life, like where he comes from and all of that, and those who managed to trace him back to Iragbiji, they were able to give him a name. I think they were able to trace his normal name, his original name, before Yamogaji, Abibatu Mogaji, adopted him to Lagos State from Iragbiji. Shango Dele, is it Shango Dele or Shango Lere? I can't remember that fully now, okay? Nobody knows where he comes from, for real. And Lagos State, where he's now become their landlord and the rest, yeah? Who worships him and all that, which is... So I'm not jealous. I just know that he's coming back. Are you with me? He's coming back here. So if he's using his football age as 69, don't worry. In another few weeks or months, they will tell you he's back here again. Because yes, what he told his own, let me tell you something, from waiting I hear, why the guy decided to return to Nigeria, okay, from the grapevine, and you can quote me because it's true, okay. They said after the operation in Maryland, the two leg, they say now arthritis. I don't know how you call them, arthritis or something, right? That's what is. So they needed to do a quick operation. If not, Baba, na kripu. They go just say, how many of you remember Bashorunga? If you are a Yoruba man, if you are from Yoruba land, even if you school in Yoruba land, you will know this story. The story of Bashorunga. Bashorunga was a very powerful kingmaker in the whole Oyo Empire. Okay? So this Bashorunga is like Tifnumbu. Bashorunga has so much juju that the king of the Oyo Empire, Adegolu, the name of that king who happened to be the Alaafin, it was during the era of Alaafin Adegolu and Bashorunga. But before the Alaafin Adegolu, there has been so many Alaafin. Bashorunga has so much power, he will just kill them if they don't obey him. He's the most powerful. If he don't want to be, if he says, you offended me as a king, as powerful as people believe Alaafin, he will just kill the person. Because he became that powerful because he used his superficial power, supernatural power back then, and his bravery of being a warrior, his bravery in battle, and how to assemble army that have been known to be defending Oyo Empire. So all of those things gave him that power and also gave him wealth, right? That I believe is the most powerful. In fact, it was the most powerful. Then a new king, very young boy, became king. His name was Alaafin Adegolu. Right? So Alaafin Adegolu, somebody now told him that, you know what? If you want to live long, you know that Bashorunga is close to 100. He's old. Very old. People even believe that the reason why he got that old was because of his ajidewe, something that always make him stay young in blood and in body, even though he's old. So they now told that king, they said, if you want to live long, you need to be going to him every morning, right? And you will go and prostrate for him and greet him before anyone wake up, okay? And you pledge homage to him. If you want to live long, with that, you will be able to enjoy as a king. And people will listen to you, you know what I mean? And you will not just go, you will not just die. So that king accepted that advice. And every morning, that king
will go to the house of Bashorunga, and he will prostrate and tell the guy to pray for him as his father. Meanwhile, in Yoruba land, a crowned king can never prostrate for any human being, any living soul again in his life, in his lifetime. So Bashorunga found that offensive. Like, who are you? So the king will go there and prostrate to receive the blessing. And when he's on his way back to his palace, Bashorunga will go to he will send one of his boys to go into the inner room and bring a sack of money, just like father to son, and say, take this money and use it for the betterment of the or your people or your mercy. You know what I mean? Just making it look like I am your godfather. Take this money. I am rich. You know? But one day, Bashorunga did something, to a young man. That's a story for another day. That young person in history now, as powerful as Bashorunga with his juju, a young man, that Bashorunga, took his own fiancé, and they used the fiancé to make a longevity voodoo for Bashorunga. This young man quietly sneaked into Bashorunga's inner room when his guards are already everywhere because of the kidnapped girl that they killed to make longevity charm for the powerful man in Yoruba land at the time, Bashorunga. When this young man sneaked in with his own small charm that people probably will never believe will work, he just hit Bashorunga. Now so Bashorunga became crippled back to Tifnumbu. Tifnumbu is the Bashorunga of Lagos. He can make and unmake anybody flapping and flapping his wing, politically oppressing and stealing from people in Lagos State, and he can make them get away with it. If you don't obey or follow his directive, he is so powerful in his own clan there, with the army of armed youth that they gave gun to. I'm talking about the Agberos, including the executive Agberos and normal tasks. Okay, so with this, with money and everything that he has, so he is the Bashorunga. Now, cripple Tifnumbu they joke with, and there is no hospital. There is no babalawo, there is no mamalawo, there is nobody that could treat him. In Ga, that is a body lawn in Lagos State. Since there is nobody, they had to take Bashorunga, Tifnumbu, to America. So when they now go to America, they now said, oh boy, this thing bad though. This arthritis, Baba, now cripple be this, so you go cripple, but we can treat you because your age, safe, the long time of a drug abuse, and all history of all these things and all of that, your muscles, the one way day your leg, they know they hold together anymore. But we get something we go do if you go pay, and also you are going to promise us that you are not going to do politics, because if you do politics, that means you are going to be standing up. You're going to be walking about. And we cannot guarantee that what we're about to do is going to work if you don't stay and rest. Tifnumbu now said, you know what? I'm going to rest. Don't worry. I have retired from politics. Ask people. I know. They call me national leader. I'm no longer doing politics like that. Just meetings and, it's just who I am. And I can't be going about and all of that. So if you say yes, then we'll do it. Or else, may your family go buy you wish here. You say, no. We cannot put Tifnumbu on wish here. Even Bokwari, they have to have a battery, have plug, have everything, change all the blood, change everything they could change, everything to try make him stay there, even though he's a breeding mannequin. Who have no idea most of the time where he is. But in your own case, now cripple, Aro, you go turn to Aro. If you know obey, waiting with the advice you. So it was going to be a bad PR. Imagine if Tinubu came to Nigeria on which year? That is going to be very, very bad. Very, very bad. It's not going to work. Even the Buhari idiot, the Lagos Agbero, they will be disappointed, even though they are just going to pray more. They say, Tinubu will work. You will start seeing Lagos, marathon Lagos from everywhere, where from every part of Lagos state. They will be doing prayer warrior. Fast every Friday. Lagos Island, Lagos National Mosque or wherever. Everywhere, they will be doing prayer, even if they will enter Nigeria on which year. But the people, he promised them, he said he's not doing politics again. Okay? And a lie. The guy went on the dream saying won't be president. Abi, what do you think? So he now, to convince them that he was not interested in politics again, he said, you see, the moment you finish this operation, I am going to fly to London. Boyega, the smart boy, the one from Oshun, very smart boy. From the money he stole from the people of Oshun, he just bought this new house in London. And he sent me the pictures. And I think it's very similar to old people's home in, but like old posh people. So when you finish this operation, as long as you can help me to work, no wish here, I'm going to London to go and rest. And I'm going to stay there. I'm not doing politics again. So that's fine. Oh yeah, sign that you agree that you are going to do this. So he signed. After 2 weeks in America, they fueled the private jets, the one they bought with your money, and they flew to London, to the house bought by the governor of Osun State, who happened to be the cousin to Tinubu. Maybe some of you don't know. That's exactly why the story of Iragbiji in Osun State that they said Tinubu come from originally. He's a Yoruba man. No, I don't have any issue with wherever he's there shopping his own mullah. I'm just the problem I have with is that thinking he's doing it in my own interest as a Yoruba man, and you, the humble slave, the obedient fool, think I should keep quiet because he's a Yoruba man. So I wouldn't have had problem with that, right? Because he can chop it everywhere. So he decided to come to the house. They said money stolen from the Osun people, that they call it through the Pandora Bank, British Island, they call it. Through Pandora Bank, they now gave a different name. They gave the money to a disguised company. That one now come back to London to come and buy a house from the Blues. And like miracle, now that house, Tinubu ended to go and recover. They say, well, how far with London? When it turned to photo, he said, I'm going through therapy. Now, you see all these jobs they pay for. That means your money from Lagos, your money work. Tinubu walked on his two legs to Lagos. I am not his enemy. I'm not your enemy. Even though if you feel like I am, and your cup of tea, you don't like me, I don't like you too. But that doesn't mean that I hate you. I don't hate people, okay? They don't like us. We don't like them. No be too caught for. Be that. But that doesn't mean that I wish you evil. I just wish you what you wish yourself. I wish you Tinubu. I wish you Bokwari and everything that comes with it. If you're happy with that, just say amen. You get what I mean now? It's your own thing. I don't get issue with that at all. But the only thing there is that when you turn around and you say, now God do am and where have you, that's your own thing, no. But somebody like myself, I don't think it will always fly. So it's back in Nigeria now. And those of you who are now jumping up for your 2023, well, Maiyegun will still be here to remind you. And I'm so happy. Like this brother told us, even before that, somebody else also said this, that I think, well captured.
I won't like to compare leadership of President today, Buhari, with Obasanjo or anybody. But I want to talk about leadership generally. Yoruba say, Tegbeba man dara, latodo orori egbe. Two, talking metaphorically or figuratively. Tejabama baje, that to reload in better. The fish starts to spoil from the head. Our women know it. When they go to the market in the evening, they want to buy fresh fish. Once they open the grill, the gill, and it's green, they put it down. There are bad followers, but the leaders make the follower to be bad. I want to confirm that. In my adult life, Akilaja before you today, Akavik, Nigeria Limited, whatever where they are, was because Chief Obafemi Awolowo made education free and compulsory in Ondo State. That was how they went into the bush, where my father was a talking drummer percussionist, and say anybody that does not bring the child to school in January in 1955 will be arrested. And quickly, my father, although people don't like police, my father brought me to Ondo and I started school. And we are having a killer job before you today. That is leadership. That is policy. It is because the leaders corrupted the leadership, the followership. The followership lost confidence in the leadership and they become corrupt. Yoruba people say bribery, owoeni. It's a shame, so they call it owoeni. They call it riba. But today, it's owowajo. A typical security man will tell you, you never settle me. If you settle a security man, can he arrest you if you are wrong? So, leaders corrupted the followership to the level that they don't have confidence in leadership, and they are asking to have confidence in leadership, and they are asking for their money on the day of election before they, even if they are going to suffer it tomorrow, they will say, oh yeah, I have gone to campaign, I'm a politician. Children of 6, 7 years, 10 years, a junk on it. A junk only. I gave them poster, they are asking me a junk only. If it has gone deep to that level, what is the future of Nigeria? That is my concern. Therefore, leaders, from president to chairman of local government to governors, that is leadership. Even head of family, that is leadership. We should all agree that we have engaged Nigeria in a game of mutual destruction. Now let us join together to now rebuild Nigeria. That is when we all sleep together with two of our eyes closed. I have one English language that I coined. I said today, instead of patriotism, we have pocketism. That's what he said. What is in need for me? In policy making, what is in need for me? In policy execution, what is in need for me? If a contractor wants to come and take money from a commissioner, say your own is inside though. If not, they will not get the contract. So, leaders must come together to rebuild and have good followership. And I have a life experience. I was deputy president, Nigeria Labour Congress, under Adams Oshomole. Nigerians believed in us. We will say Nigerians should sit at home. The commander-in-chief will say everybody should go to work. But Nigerians will sit at home. Children will be playing football on the field. What is the magic? Is trust. If people trust you, they will follow you. Thank you. God bless you.
All right. Thank you very much.
You know what comes to my mind when Baba said, after all those beautiful things he says, right? When he said, that's why we all have to come together to trust ourselves and then, to make Nigeria better. I'm like, don't do that. Don't.
Charlie boy. What is that Charlie boy? Our mumu don't too much. Charlie boy, now your mumu not too much. You be mumu. You think say they wise. You are a mumu man. You are a mumu man. And then throw the tear gas.
But again, you got the message. That's how rotten it has become. I have one more video to share with you because I can't say all of this without listening to this video again. Trust me, I can't. But before I share that with you, there's one before that too. And it has to do with all I told you about the budgeting, the fraud, all of that. Nigeria is planning to borrow 6 trillion naira. Okay, put it this way. Bukwari said they're budgeting 16 trillion for 2022. You have an idea of what they are going to spend it on. You now know, right? Your naira is going to fall more before the end of this year. Before December, you will likely be changing £1 sterling for 1,000 naira or very close to that. All right, but you would think it's something else. It's not. It is simply because they are going to go borrowing again. Now, from what they are budgeting 16 trillion, they want to borrow 6 trillion. That's the deficit. From the 6 trillion, from the 10 trillion, they hope to generate from within, which they won't, right? They are going to service debts by 3 trillion naira in 2022. Okay? Now, with with all of this, somebody actually tried to explain it. Don't mind the guy, okay? I just wanted to pay attention to, even when he himself had the billion, trillion. Baba, it provoke.
And it's embarrassed. It's embarrassed.
Do you get what I mean now? It is embarrassed.
And it's embarrassed. It's embarrassed. Because if you look at the budget presentation, look at the debt service. The debt service is almost above capital. 3-point-something trillion. Why I say it's embarrassed is for the first 16 or to 25 years back, Nigerian money are looted, keep it, some they put our money like dead bodies in the grave, they buried our money, some they carry our money abroad. Why can't the government make a strong interrogation and investigation team? Call back these people, investigate, bring back our money to implement the budget. We have to stop borrowing because we don't know tomorrow. That is my worry. If you look at an example, an estimate, a woman, a single person, the former petroleum minister, he went with $60 billion. That is 5 years budget. 5 years Nigerian budget, her alone. And there is thousands of her. If there is real investigation, there is thousands like her. So when we investigate, we can spend 20 years, next 20 years, we will not borrow. We will implement budget with our recovered money. So seriously, this government...
We have got the opportunity to serve again for additional 4 years. And Nigerians will know the difference.
If everybody is saying, what happened to this, what happened to that, how can we know that go here? Maybe I should show you again.
We have got the opportunity to serve again for additional 4 years. And Nigerians will know the difference.
Sure, you understand. Somebody said, waiting that small picking the talk. What did that little child said there, right? When Bukwari said, we are grateful to have gotten another 4 years, I can assure you that you will know the difference. That young child said, now we understand the difference. So we have now understood the difference. And for those who probably know better, after that, and like this, everybody, they behave now. Do you get that? Even this guy, yeah? I'll come to his before I round up. This is the video I wanted to share again, because listen, somebody they talk inside church, they tell brethren, waiting the pastor supposed they tell them, don't tell people to have faith in something that is already rigged. That is fraudulent. And I love this brother. He's probably watching me too.
Yeah.
Well, to answer your question, to me, Nigeria is dead. So, I'm not prophesying upon Nigeria. It's a reality. You know, Nigeria is dead. It's on coma, and it will never rise up. Nah. You see, I'm very optimistic, and I'm calling a spade a spade. Let me tell you the fact. It's a fact, factual, whatever it is. Nigeria is dead. I can never raise, can never. That is for God. God himself is tired of Nigeria. Let me tell you one thing. It's in the Bible. Solomon's kingdom was what? Divided, was torn into pieces. Nigerian government is torn into pieces. That is a fact. Biafra will go, Yoruba nation will go. I'm rooting for Yoruba nation. So if we say I'm a future leader of Yoruba nation, I claim it. I'll forget it. That's a fact. Let me tell you one thing. Before you guys were born, that are even older than me, you will be prophesying good things for Nigeria. You will be saying Nigeria will be better. That's number one. Number two, before you guys were born, that are older than me, they'll be telling you that you are the leaders of what? Of tomorrow. People that, Pastor Chola, you are older than me now. And they told you that you are the leaders of tomorrow. Leaders of tomorrow now, they are even great-grandparents right now. Leaders of tomorrow, they are great-grandparents. So why? You see, it's a common sense. Don't waste your time speaking faith. Speak faith into your own life, personally. The only achievement in Nigeria right now, hello, everybody. The only achievement in Nigeria is individually based. In Nigeria, you are your own president. When you build your own house, you have your own borehole. Ordinary borehole, the government cannot even provide. You are your own president of your own house in Nigeria. You do your own borehole, you bring your own light, you do everything by yourself. Do you know right now? Is it back in the day when you guys are growing up? You used to enjoy road trip. Right now, can you tell me you can enjoy road trip? Even within your state region, not even tribal region, your state region. And from Akure, I cannot drive 20 minutes drive to Ondo town. Because I'll be thinking that Fulani people, not Fulani people, the bandits, we appear. Whenever I'm going to Nigeria right now, I'm going to take a flight from Lagos to Akure. Now, why? Because Akure has airport. What about people from Ondo? They don't have airport. What about people from Indo? They don't have airport. What about Ekiti State? Ekiti State don't even have airport. What about that? Your own region, no security, and you are speaking French to Nigeria? Nigeria is gone. God will help you. The only way God will help you is referendum. Yoruba nation, Biafra, Arewa, let everybody go on his own. On point. That is the truth of the matter. And let me say this before I give you the. Now let me say this before I give you the mic, guys. I want you guys to understand this. You know, in America, only one language. Am I making sense here? In America, only one language. Tell me any country that is unilateral or unilingual. That country is a developed country. But when you see a country that has more than 20 languages, more than 30 languages, more than 50. Now, even in my state, we have different accents, different dialects. And you want to tell me that nation will move forward? It's not possible. It's not confusion. English.
Thank you so much, Jare Baba. You see, there is no time that if you are watching Nigeria issue from far, okay? I mean, if you pay attention very well, from far, if the thing hits you, if the thing enter you, if the truth, I mean, if you put yourself in their shoes, like this, amazing lady that also came to our protest yesterday. She couldn't wait longer, but we had a chat. And she said that she's probably watching me right now as well. She says she's a silent watcher, somebody who followed Maiyegun and has been for a while. And she just couldn't let that pass. The fact that I was going to be at the George Square in Glasgow yesterday. So she stopped by and then we had a chat, you know. So when you watch from far and you try to put yourself in people's shoes, when you read these stories, when you hear about all these things and you put yourselves in people's shoes, trust me, if you have empathy, if you have humanity, this is how you're going to always feel like about all of these people who are going to be abusing Maiyegun. Because according to them, Maiyegun is the issue. Shut up your mouth. This is how we feel from you inside.
I just think that somewhere God will just help me because I really wish I could really help. I really wish I could help. It's very painful, truly. I can't.
You know, painful to me, but now for inside, we feel like, can these people imagine it, how it feels not to live in this world of this Bokwari, and you can have the better one. I mean, not this one, no. But again, me, I just do my own part. Okay, just do my own part so that posterity will judge me. Okay, so at the end of the day, una go decide what una go decide. Those of you who are going to become swagger this, swagger that, I'm just going to advise those who are my friends. Okay, see, don't be ashamed though. Don't be too ashamed though, because then said no one can shame the shameless. Some of you, shame no day your life anymore. You have become so shameless that you are even wearing it like a pendant. You know, wearing it like pendants with pride. So who am I to judge you? You will not get shame. So don't feel ashamed though. That when your madness become to show, when the thing don't they come to, we say people go there, you go there, everywhere. Swagger. Shut up your mouth. So Tinubu swagger. When you become when your madness starts, and you bring them here, we have people who will know about it too. The same way, some of you who have been suffering buarititis, a rare mental disorder that nobody knows. You know what I'm talking about? Buarititis. So when you will come back here with your swagger. You know what I'm talking about? When your madness kick in, we have people here that will know about it on this platform. They know what you will be suffering from. They will remind you. But bros, I beg, for the sake of those who are likely going to be your own children, I'm talking about for the sake of those who love you, even if you don't love yourself, I beg, manage the shame. Okay? When you begin to dance naked everywhere, defending those who brought this upon you, swagger. Remember your family. Remember your family name. At least think about them. Okay? And manage your shame. I'm going to see you some other time. You can blame me. That's what they do. You can blame me for what is wrong with you. But again, you will soon stop blaming me. And what I told you will soon begin to make sense to you. If you are lucky enough, I will redeem you. On Temple of Truth, we have healed many people like you. You won't be the first. And you won't be the first stubborn Buhari idiots that needs. So last, people who seek healing, who seek truth, who seek peace, who seek understanding, or Maiyegun's diary Politico, who seek no mercy, no madness. They always found them on Maiyegun's diary Politico. It's very easy and peaceful. It's up to you. Only you will decide that. So I'm going to see some of the time to everyone. Yes, to my friends on YouTube, you know what to do before you leave. Remember, to my friends on Facebook, go on YouTube, okay? Suddenly, I'm so surprised. Facebook begin to let new people follow Maiyegun's diary Politico. For the past 1 year, I have lost over 14,000, followers, likes, and then more than 40,000 in all, with including the followers of Maiyegun's diary Politico, because YouTube stopped it. They said, no, don't follow Maiyegun again. It's too controversial. The Buhari idiots don't like me. But again, for some reason, they didn't shut the page down. But somehow, in the last 2 days, I realized that over 2,000 people just suddenly just like and follow. I was like, oh, really? Yeah, I think that's nice. But again, it's not reliable.
They can shut me down anytime. Go on to that YouTube. It's more reliable. The reason is because whatever goes on YouTube, I'm always going to get a chance to defend myself, not like Facebook. Go on there, make that happen, subscribe, like the video, and then when I get back again, remember, we will always continue from where we are stopping. Good night to everyone.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádùn yẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í o. ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi